anyway, so that part probably got cut. But you know,
Hopefully.
I don't know. Maybe we can do a COVID podcast sometime.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, listen, we like racing, but we're also serious about world issues. So here you go. But yeah, obviously, just messing around here. So welcome everybody. I'm assuming we're on the air now. This is the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is Tier 2. This is Zenith Online Racing. We are back from the break week. It is our Bigga in the booth alongside Fuzz. Once again, we've become quite the dynamic duo in the commentary booth.
Yeah. Am I a better teammate than Puff now?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, Puff doesn't
Nice.
show up, and, I don't know. Yeah, you're settling in
Nice.
pretty nice. I think, I mean, obviously, like, if I had to choose, like, I don't know what to tell you, but
You pick me. I mean, it's just. I know it's an obvious
yeah,
choice,
that's what I
but
was
you
gonna
can,
say.
yeah. You can say,
That's what I was gonna say.
you can just pretend you were gonna pick Puff just to not hurt his feelings, but
Right.
we all know.
Right. All right. So it is dark here in Bahrain. We are here. This is what, round 11, I believe. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are about halfway through the season at this point. See who gets out early. There's no Niebuhr tonight, so we don't expect him out early. Usually one of the first guys out. Coxie snuck in last minute. We almost had Jinnit in there as a replacement. Already 4 comments in the chat, so it's popping off early here. I'm gonna have to get my phone. It's charging right now, so I'll have to check that in a bit. Yeah, 8 people tuned in as well. That's good news to start. We just got rolling here in qualifying, so.
Someone named Jordan Farmer says, I'm getting points today, mark it down.
But that.
I think that's Frank. Frank Lucas.
Right.
In the
There's another
Mercedes.
Jordan here as well. I think it's Pace Dogs as well, but it's from his live streams.
Who's first out on track? Is that Williams?
Well, I can really hide the user interface here. I don't know who's out for on track. Yeah,
Terminal
I didn't pay
DD is
attention,
out.
so yeah, let's get the terminal here. Interesting. All these races I broadcast, I've never really realized I could hide all the interfaces. That's pretty bad. As a few days ago, Doc praising my race director skills, I didn't even realize I could hide those buttons. Oops. So yeah, Terminal Deity should be the first guy on a hot lap. He is out on the medium tire. We have Chicken behind on the soft tire, not messing around, getting out on that soft early. Who else is out on track? We have.
Oh, Terminal's been lit. I think that's turn 12. The
Is he out?
curb that you must not touch. No, he's just
no,
he's just spun.
Yeah. I think it's still his warm-up lap. He still might be able to get going. But yeah, I guess Chicken's our first
overtaken him. Yeah.
Let's get with Chicken. The broadcast view looks great in the full midnight with the lights on. The cars look nice and the tires are shiny. That pink helmet glowing under the lights here in Bahrain. Orchard Chicken starting his hot lap, our first hot lap here in the qualifying session for Tier 2 of Zenith Online Racing. Let's see what he can do here. DRS wide open. Oh, locks up big time there. That's going to cost him a lot of time. So, not going to be the greatest lap here from Chicken, but hopefully he just gets a banker on the board here, just to be safe. So is that Deity behind? He's probably on a push lap as well. Then we have a Mercedes behind them. Is that Scavney on a hot lap? It is, yeah. So we'll check in with Scavney after Chicken and Deity finish their laps. Oh, he touched the curb too. Oh. He just can't touch that curb. It's so inviting, but every time you touch it, that's what happens.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, come
Well,
on.
no better than
You guys
that.
know. Yeah, exactly. Especially in quali. Maybe in the race you try your luck, but
Chicken crosses the line. P1 30.8.
Davey.
Terminal T goes 30.1 on the mediums. Scavney goes at 28.6 on the softs.
So there's a marker. Scavney with the
There it
28.6.
is.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty good marker to go off here. PDC with the
PDC.
27.7. There's a real marker. That is a marker for sure. We have Wolfsburg just about to cross the start-finish line. Let's see what time he puts up here on the medium tire. 29.8, so he's ahead of Davey and Chicken. That's a pretty good lap from Wolfsburg there. CPM jumps into 29.2 into 4th place. Sam into 7th, 30.2. He's reserved tonight. And then I think that is Arrow starting a hot lap there on the hard tire. So we'll check in with Arrow in a bit, see what kind of time he sets on the hard there. We got Bobby just finishing up a hot lap on the medium tire here. .31.7 for Bobby, so...
Interestingly, a lot of people going out straight on the softs, despite the quicker strategy here being a medium to hard one stop.
yeah.
Starting on the softs, you can do a one stop going from the soft to the hard compound tire, but it is slower than starting on the mediums, and stretching out those softs and those hards is going to be a big task.
For sure. I think a lot of people inspired by our biggest drive on Monday night. No relation to the commentator, Arbiga.
Huh. Never heard of him.
Just a coincidence. Yeah, maybe. They're like, well, it worked. It kind of worked, but ultimately, like, medium to hard is the best option, especially for consistency and safety. Soft to hard, you're honestly you're really on the limit at the end of both stints. Like, it's so easy to build the car. You have to be pretty confident. Like, I mean, I really like this track and I'm pretty good at it. Obviously not terribly fast, but I'm good at this track. Like, I don't make many mistakes here, so I was confident enough to extend the stints, but yeah.
Sam's done a pretty impressive 29.7 on the hards, and AO just followed that up with a 29 dead.
Yeah, that's a pretty good time.
That's the statement.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, based on the fact that he's on the hards now, I don't think he's gonna go on the softs. But it'll be very difficult to get pole on the mediums.
Into the pits is that Hans. It is 34.6 for Hans. He's way off the pace there on those hards. What is GP's coming around, but so is Paystock's. Paystock's on an outlap, so let's check him with GP, see what he can do here. A little off the pace as well, 32.3 for GP, so he's right near the back there on those medium tires, very off the pace. We've got a racing point. Is that Sam? It is. Is he on another push lap, or maybe heading in? Yeah, he's heading in, it looks like. Let's check in. This is Axton. He looks like he's heading in as well. And Arrow heading in as well, so getting a little slow out on track at the moment. Here comes Bobby. He's got a lot of batteries. Is he going to turn it up and go for a push lap here? No. He's also heading in. Electric Chicken. He's on an out-lap, so he's about to start a flyer. Let's ride on board with Chicken for the entirety of this lap around Bahrain here. Let's see what he can do. He's out on the medium tire, looking to set a good time and set his race strategy up here. Oh, that's a terrible camera angle.
Meanwhile, Pace Dogs is coming around the final corner just about now on the mediums.
See what time Pace Dogs can set.
Done a 28.7.
Yeah, good time. Just jump to that on board quickly, and we'll get back to chicken, and we will ride out the rest of the lap with chicken here. 8 minutes to go here in qualifying, so plenty of time to mix this grid up a little bit more. Lots of different tire strategies at the moment. I'm interested to see what everybody else will decide to do by the end of the session. Will we have some guys maybe sit on their medium times, stay in their garage, not come back out if it's good enough, or we're going to see a lot of guys just go out in the softs and just maybe bank on a safety car. I don't think we had one Monday night at all.
Yeah, I don't recall one either.
No, just a few VSCs I think we had. Maybe 2 or 3 VSCs.
Yeah.
Full safety cars, so.
I mean,
29.2
I don't know why we...
chicken. It's a decent time on the
Oh,
mediums.
that's pretty good. Yeah, that's decent, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why we canceled the race on Monday after a break week. Don't know what happened there.
Oh, right, yeah. No, it was actually you and RC canceled your races. The rest of us kept going, and it still counted. So, yeah. Sorry to inform you, but everybody else got points. You guys just kind of pissed them away. Actually, you would have pissed them away anyway, let's be honest.
Thanks for the faith.
Yeah, we all know. Who is this? Wolfsburg? He's just about to start a hot lap, actually. No, he is starting a hot lap, yeah. So let's ride on board with Wolfsburg for a bit, see what time he can set. He's out on the softs here. Sitting 13th at the moment with a 129.8, so he definitely needs a big lap here to improve. See if he can mix himself into that top 10 here.
Meanwhile, it's Eric coming out the final corner on a hot lap on the mediums.
Wolfsburg's actually down on his previous time rate.
He does a 29.3, it's Eric, and puts him into P10. Ooh, Stoy Loco has gone third fastest on the softs. He's done a 28.1. Terminal Davies retired from the session. Wonder what happened there. Oh, I think he's spun out and
in the same corner.
yeah,
he
did
it again. I'm with Wolfsburg right now. We're actually probably we might see
Frank's coming around.
Yeah,
the car's gone.
Oh yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
Oh, David.
Yeah, it's in the wall.
Yeah, in the same session. You know, he didn't learn his lesson, so that's on him. Yeah, I gotta say, like, he just, you know, that's on you, bud. Should have learned. Wolfsburg just wrapping up his lap now. He was down in Sector 1. I missed his Sector 2 time. Let's see what he can do here at the end. He is up. Just improves a few tenths. Not much, but just got plenty of time to get back in and put another hot lap in. So not the end of the world there. Not a big deal. Sam.
Mario's on a hot lap as well.
Is Mario on a hot lap? Let's give Mario some airtime. Sitting down in 20th right now. He doesn't have a lap time on the board yet. He's, I wonder if he... Striking resemblance to Alain Prost, Mario. Every time we see him on the podium, which will probably be quite rare in these official league races. Usually more of a beer league thing. But, yeah, striking resemblance to Alain Prost when he's on the podium there. So, Mario now on his flyer. Oh, a little slow on the accelerator there. It seemed like he just missed the gear or something. Seems to be very hesitant.
Yeah, it is important to point out that Coxey over the week has openly challenged the Ferraris, saying he's going to take that constructor spot away from them.
Right, and he's being edged out by both of them by over 2 tenths at the moment.
Oh, CPM goes 7th fastest with a 28.9 on the softs.
Mario bails on his lap, so yeah,
come on, Mario.
From CPM. No, I don't blame him. Didn't look very good, to be honest. He just would have wasted his time driving around. so he's better off just getting in the pits and trying it again. Axon is actually starting a flyer on the medium tire. Saved it for the end of the session here. Let's ride on board with Axon. He's probably going to be one of the first final runs on the medium tire here. So we'll see what kind of time Axon can set. This is going to be big for his championship claim. I mean, he pretty much needs to start beating Arrow from now on out if he wants a chance at that title. But let's be honest, Arrow's really in command here. It's going to take a lot of... I don't know, if Axon beats Arrow and Arrow came second every race for the rest of the season, he might have a shot, but it's going to be... Even that would be difficult, I think. I don't know. Axon's probably listening, though, and he's probably going to give me the gears about this at the end of the race in the podium interviews. Or did I just jinx him with the commentator's curse?
He makes for an entertaining post-race interview, I'll
Yeah,
tell
he
you that
does.
much.
I do really hope he makes it there. He is quite a delight to chat with at the end of the race. I've already had a few beverages tonight, so it should be a pretty good one by the end. Yeah, we haven't even got to the race session yet, so
yeah.
I've still got about an hour to put these back, and we will see what kind of fireworks we see here tonight. Some in the commentary booth, some on track, and some in the sky at the end of the race. Axton goes into fifth. Yeah, so just behind Arrow on the medium tire. So pretty much what he needs to do, really. Like, he doesn't need the 3/10. If he can be right behind Arrow and he can beat him on track, that's all he really needs to do. So puts himself in a pretty good spot here on the same strategy, and he's just tucked in right behind Arrow. So we should see quite a few drivers starting their final runs here now towards the end of the session. Duff 49ers is just heading in the pits, so obviously didn't get the timing right there. Lit Romney is starting a flyer, or no, just finishing a lap. He's 32.4, so down his time. No, he is starting a flyer here. So Lit Romney, probably going to be one of the first guys to cross. Chicken, oh, it said Chicken was on an outlap. Chicken going very slow here. Chicken's not going to put another time on the board. He's lifted off. There's no way he's going to make it around in time. So Chicken's done. Not entirely sure why. But Lit Romney here on the medium, sitting on 11th place right now. On these medium tires, if he can just dip into the top 10 and start on the mediums, Lit Romney put himself in a very good spot for this race. He could score some pretty good points tonight if he can get inside the top 10 on these medium tires.
Hopefully he's also sorted out his connectivity issues, because I feel like that's what's been taking him out of contention over the past few weeks.
That's a good point.
But let's hope he can recover from that.
He's smooth through that corner, doesn't even go anywhere near that inside curb, so you don't even really need to go near it, let alone use it. And Lit Romney here, I think he's going to improve his time here. I think he might just edge out, maybe even edge out Coxie here. Maybe he gets into about 8th or 7th. Let's see what he can do here. Could be a very good lap. And he's up into 8th, yeah, so jumps out ahead of CPM and Coxie at the moment. Good lap from Lit Romney there. So we have a couple cars coming around to the finish now. Is that PDC? Oh, my button got stuck again. I hate when that happens. PDC. Nope, he doesn't get across in time. He was looking to start a flyer and didn't get across in time. So Chicken finishes in 12th. Obviously, we knew that. I missed all the guys crossing the line now. Okay, let's get back further. Is that Frank?
No, it looks like PDC has started a lap.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, there's no checkered flag next to his name, so I'm assuming he's still on lap. He seems to be pushing hard. So.
I thought I saw it hit 0. So Scabney is... Scabney and Frank are both done. Who's that Red Bull there? Is that Soy? It is Soy. Soy's on a lap, and it looks like he's actually up on his time. So let's ride with Soy. Who's behind him in the Haas car? Is that Lit Romney?
Yes, it is.
It is?
And yeah, but Lit Romney is done, so he's on an end lap.
Right. So, yeah. And then behind him is a Alpha. Are they on a lap? Is that PDC?
Um,
And Scabby's on a lap too, apparently. Oh no, looks like Scabby's
yeah,
off
it
the
is
track or something.
PDC. PDC
Soy
is
heads
going
into the
quickest in
pits.
Sector 2.
Soy heads into the pits. PDC somehow on a flyer. I swear the time said 0 when he crossed the line, unless I just missed it or something. But there comes PDC. He's currently on provisional pole here. Doesn't really need to improve, but he can. So he's probably going to here for bragging rights. 27.4 for PDC. He's on to pole. I believe he just picked up that
Oh,
Fanatec CSL Elite, and
oh
he said
yeah.
he felt fast, and he said he found felt like he found a few tenths already just because of the wheels. So here he is taking pole position here in the Bahrain Grand Prix in Tier 2. So we knew T Money's departure would kind of shake things up a little bit, and here we go. We got PDC on pole, Scabby's in second, Chicken's in third, Soy Loco in fourth, Arrow Strike is in fifth, and Axton's in sixth. So things are shook up. Those guys on the medium tire, interesting to note. So we do have the top 4 on the softs. They're obviously going to be on a little bit of a compromise strategy, but it can work out depending on what happens behind you. Aerostrike, Axton, Pace Dogs, GP, Lit Romney, all on the medium tire, and then CPM rounds out the top 10 on the soft tire there. So
Yeah, it's not
everybody
going to be as
behind.
easy for Aerostrike and Axton and the Ferraris to get past early on quickly because there's going to be a massive DRS strain if the top 4 can stay within a
Right.
second of each other, which is likely considering this is a very slipstream heavy track.
Yeah, and then everybody outside the top 10 there. So Coxie in 11th, Sam 12th, Hans 13th. It's Eric 14th, Mario in 15th, Bobby in 16th, Wolfsburg in 17th, Terminal 80 in 18th, Dove 49ers is 19th, and Frank is in 20th. He got disqualified from the session.
Yeah, he lost one entire place. He dropped from 19th to 20th
Yeah, so
through that disqualification.
all those guys going to have tire choice for the race. I you really got to think they'd have to start on the medium and then just kind of ride it out and see what they want to do. I think that if you're outside the top 10, um, for me, Monday night, I started in ninth on the softs. I was trying to get a little further up the grid, ended up in ninth, so I had to start on the soft tire in ninth, and then ended up making it work to finish sixth on the hard. So it can work. You can do it right. You just have to make no mistakes and run a pretty steady race, and you can usually make a one stop last year, even if it is the kind of the weaker compound, soft to hard rather than medium to hard. But it is doable. We could see if you guys pull it off. But the guys starting on the medium is definitely at an advantage here, and we'll see that advantage kick in around like lap 5, 6. We'll see the soft guys start to really struggle with tire grip, and the medium runners will start to pressure them. And we won't really see how it's going to all pan out until the medium runners make their pit stops. But generally, what happens when the soft runners pit early is that they get stuck in traffic and they get held up a little bit fighting through the field. And by the time the medium runners pit to the hards, they've already cleared the gap they need. And if they haven't, they have much fresher tires and can usually push and catch up if they need to. So could see a pretty interesting race tonight. We could see a variety of strategies pan out and work out here. Could see safety cars that could just completely wash everything. It's hard to say. Tier 1, I think, I don't know. We've been pretty good lately, and I think most of the tiers there hasn't been a huge amount of safety cars lately. There were, for a while there, it seemed like we were having a few a race. Just people crashing completely, like terminal damage. Um, Crashing themselves out of the races, and they were, causing a lot of safety cars. So I think maybe it's just everybody's keeping it a little more tidy lately, and we're not having these huge crashes.
Since Mexico, I think it's been a lot better.
Alright, so halfway through the formation lap now. PDC leading the pack. He is on pole position. Behind him is Scavney. And then we have Chicken in third. Let's get all this information up so we know exactly where everybody is in this race. Chicken and Soy, third and fourth on the softs. And then we got Arrow, Axton, Pace Dogs, GP, Lit Romney, all in the medium tire behind. So going to be an interesting top 10 there. CPM on these softs as well. Look out for him on the start. Could see him make up a couple spots on the race start here. Newcomer tonight, he is a full-time reserve, so any points he scores here in Tier 2, he will keep if he ends up with a seat in Tier 2. So say he finishes 9th, none of the other drivers will score 9th place. He will score 9th place, he'll have 2 points, and those 2 points will come with him if he ends up in a full-time seat. If he ends up taking a seat in another tier, then the points will be voided. I don't think we've retroactively avoided them, though. It's a little too complicated going back to figure all that out. Alright, we are ready for the race start. The grid is reformed. We have the lights on. The lights came on very quick there. We've got all 5 lights on, and they are off, and another delay on the start. Really ruins the fun when I don't know when it's happening. And they're off. And there they go. Yeah. All right, we start Scavney. Oh, Scavney looking for a room here. He's fighting alongside PDC here into turn 1, but cannot find the gap he needs. Oh, Chicken gets contacted here. We got a bunch of contact here. Just a few wheel-to-wheel bumps. Nothing too major, but Chicken has lost a spot to Soy here. Soy down the inside here, looking for room on Scavney. Cannot find a gap. Chicken gets passed by Pace Dogs down the inside. Pace Dogs with a nice move there, up into 4th place. Lit Romney is under pressure here from Arrow Strike early. Pace Dogs on those medium tires got off to a great start, up into 4th place. Arrow makes contact. Oh, Arrow makes contact with Lit Romney. He's lost an end plate there. That's going to cost Arrow dearly. Actually, he's lost both end plates. He's got squeezed here at some point. Lit Romney is off the track. Lit Romney struggling here, and off to a good start, but has now lost places. And we have a safety car here. That is going to help Arrow and Lit Romney massively after they've both had very disastrous first laps here. They both, well, I have to say it kind of ruins Arrow's strategy by pitting now, but it also ruins Lit Romney's strategy pitting, but they kind of need, at least Arrow needs a wing, so he's going to have to go in. I would think now is the time before the pack collects the safety car, right? Like, you have to do it now. Get onto the hard tire and just see what happens.
I mean, the pack's pretty bunched up right now as is, but a few people are going to have to pit. I think Hans may have picked up damage. GP Collins picked up damage.
Scavney getting off those softs. Actually, yeah, it is Scavney. Scavney pits off the soft tires. Looks like the rest of the guys in the softs decided to stay out front. CPM, he has stayed out as well. So, Arrow pits, Scavney pits, and Bobby pits, Wolfsburg pits, Hans pits. We've got a lot of guys diving into the pits here during the safety car. But the guys at the back, not a bad idea for them to pit regardless. They're not really losing much if you're already in 20th, 19th anyway, right? Bobby looks like he's getting a new wing.
I think other than Scavney, everyone else that's pitted has picked up wing damage, so they've kind of had to change their wing.
Yeah.
But other than that, everyone's decided to stay out.
Wolfsburg looks like he served a penalty and changed his wing there, so, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, like, sometimes you pick up these penalties that you don't really deserve early in the race under safety car or, like, with contact or something like that, and, like, you're like, you know what, I'm already 18th, I'll just go in the pits, serve the penalty, get it off my record, and then carry on. I don't even have to worry about appealing it or anything like that. Not a bad idea. Yeah, the guys out front jumped off the soft. Scavney was one of those guys. He's put himself into 16th now in the mediums. I don't really know if that was the greatest strategy. I mean, if we end up with another safety car in a few laps, then maybe that pays off. But right now it looks like he's probably put himself in a pretty bad spot. The guys on the softs that are guys like Chicken, Soy, and PDC, they'll be able to extend at least a few more laps, and then they'll go into the pits. They'll probably have the field spread gap to cover off Scabney, I would think. So Scabney's strategy here may be backfiring, but
Yeah, the worst thing is he's put 15 cars between himself and the lead instead of, having a couple of cars before. So he's going to
yeah.
lose out massively
Well,
as it stands.
what was he, third or something when he pit? Like, that was probably not a good decision.
Yeah.
I think track position, it counts for something here. It's not terribly difficult to overtake, but I think it does count for something at the end as well.
It does, yeah. I mean, you still lose time overtaking regardless, and
Yeah.
everyone else is on soft tires as well, so it's not like you have a very clear pace advantage that you'll, get past them very quickly.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not a great spot to be in. I think he should have stayed out. He would have been better off staying out.
Right,
So
'cause
we'll see how it pans out for him.
His closest competitors are all in the same boat, and he would have been doing himself a favor there because even CPM has stayed out, and he's in 8th. I mean, he would have. I think he's probably even cost himself the place to CPM at this point, really.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he has an incredible restart, but he's really only got a 1 lap advantage over the guys in front of him. It's not going to provide him with this enormous amount of grip that he needs to overtake 7 cars and make up all the places on the guys that are on the same strategy as him. So maybe a bit of a blunder there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's a gamble, right?
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. There could be a second safety car. There could
Right.
be literally anything can happen.
Lap 7, we could have another safety car, and the soft guys were like, well, I have to pit now. And then suddenly Scabney's completely leapfrogged every one of them. So
Exactly.
it's hard to say. Just at this point, with what we know, we assume it was a mistake, but the safety car could go for another 2 laps as well. And then these softs, I mean, they're not going to wear an immense amount under the safety car, but they're not going to be great much longer than 7 or 8 laps into the race, regardless. So
Yeah. Just to point out as well, Coxey's put himself into P7 starting in P11, so he is going to be. He'll look to have a sniff of that podium.
Safety car is in this lap, so we will get back to racing. That is good news. I guess it's 2 laps to have DRS anyway, right? So no DRS.
Yeah.
PPC really needs to back off a little bit here. He's a little too close to that safety car. Like, actually way too close to that safety car. He's completely blundered this restart here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Did we have any incidents behind the safety car here, or did it kind of work out? He might have got lucky there.
Yeah,
He really didn't get it right. Here we go. It looks like Coxey has blown by 2 cars here. Coxey has made up places on the restart, and it looks like Lit Romney down the inside is into 3rd. We've got a bunch of contact here. Lit Romney makes a late dive down the inside and maybe caused a bunch of this contact. We've got somebody off. Who is that, Lit? Oh, no, it's Eric and Frank are both out. We've got 2 cars out of this race here. Are we going to have another safety car here, perhaps? I mean, we probably should. The first one was a safety car. This should be, right? Come on, Cody's. We got 2 cars parked on the main straight here. Come on. This game, man, it's...
Nah, they'll be magically cleared off by the time the cars come around, so
exactly.
we don't need a safety car.
No safety car, not even a virtual one. It'll just be fine. Fucking game. Anyways, back to racing. PDC and Soy Loco have completely separated themselves from the pack here. Chicken is 1.5 off of them at this point. And Chicken under threat here from Coxey, his teammate, and Pace Dogs and Lit Romney behind as well. So, very interesting restart there. We had a couple cars crash themselves out, and they've been magically cleared off, and we are continuing to race here.
Pace Dogs has picked up damage. He's lost an end plate. CPM looks clean so far. Lit Romney looks fine. Terminal Dairy looks okay. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people have picked up damage. Axton's picked up damage. Axton's lost an end plate as well.
Soy Loco is making a statement here. He is all over the back of PDC, and he just put in the fastest lap. Soy Loco wants to win this race. He wants to take the temporary lead of this race, and I mean, to win it at the end of the day, going to be quite the task, I think, given the strategy he's forced to choose here. But it's entirely possible. You never know. I really think, I think who's got to be fuming right now is probably Scavney, who thought, oh, 2 cars crashed out on the restart. Perfect. This is what I needed. And there's literally nothing. Not even a VSC. So,
Sam and Scavney are all over the back of Axton, who is driving without an end plate, so he's at a slight disadvantage.
Let's get to that real quick.
Gone past. They're side by side.
Oh, they made contact! Sam and Scavney made contact, and it looks like Arrow's looking for a way through now as well. He's sitting on the hard tires. He pit, and he's looking to find a way through here after he just saw these cars make contact. Aerostrike in a risky spot at the moment, needs to find a way through here for security. These cars all dueling with one another, looking for some space here. CPM is all over the back of Pace Dogs here. Pace Dogs, you said, lost an end plate as well, right? So yeah, Pace Dogs compromised here, and CPM all over the back of him. Here comes CPM. He's got an overtake. He's looking to make that move. He's going to get it done here. He's down the inside. No DRS, but he's got a much better advantage with that downforce. Down the inside, CPM gets the place. Pace Dogs has to yield that with that wing damage. Can't do anything about it. Sam down the inside here. Oh, Sam makes contact with Axton. He spun Axton. He squeezed Axton on the edge of the track there, and I think he spun Axton. Hard to tell from the broadcast view, but it looked like it was on Sam. Hans and Scavney now wheel to wheel here. Tons of action here after the safety car restart. It's been non-stop since we got going again. GB Colin is looking for a little taste of this action as well, and he's got Wolfsburg and Bobby tucked in behind. Mario sitting in 10th at the moment. Oh, Arrow down the inside on Mario here. He passes him before the DRS zone.
CPM makes a move on Pace Dogs as well. It moves up into P5 on the back straight under DRS. It looks like Soy Loco has lost a bit of time to PDC, and Chicken is now within DRS range for that P2.
So Chicken probably managing his tires a little bit better there at the front. Pace Dogs tucked in behind CPM here. He's got Lit Romney all over the back of him now as well. So Pace Dogs looking to defend here aggressively. DRS is activated. Lit Romney's got that DRS. Pace Dogs has it as well, but Pace Dogs going to be compromised a little bit there with that wing damage. Can he defend it? He goes down the inside to defend. He's missing that end plate. He goes a little deep there. Almost pushes Lit Romney off the track, but I don't know. I mean, with the wing damage, he does well, but without wing damage, it's a bit of a shove. It's hard to say, really. You know, I don't know what to say there. Let's get back to this scrap. Sam hanging on to the back of Arrow here. He's got Mario and Scavney for company. So tons of action here. It's just non-stop here in the first 7 laps. Safety car was a little bit dull, but once we got racing again, it got really feisty. It's been hard to keep up.
Yeah, I honestly don't know which battle to focus on at any given moment.
Chicken's all over the back of Soy now as well, so let's watch that. Given that it's a scrap for second at this moment, probably worth keeping an eye on. Though we do have so many close battles through the field.
Tell you what, Coxie is in prime position to actually go for the win. He's the fastest person on the mediums right now.
And he's got a huge buffer. He's got CPM holding up Pace Dogs behind him, and Coxie's on these mediums trailing the front runners here. So Coxie, yeah, you're right. Early candidate for a potential win tonight. That's huge.
Yeah, Coxie just needs to get within DRS of Electric Chicken and get dragged along for as long as possible. For at least the next 3-4 laps when Chicken needs to pit.
So Pace Dogs now moving down the inside on Lit Romney. Can't get the place though. Or sorry, Lit Romney was actually behind Pace Dogs. I think he was going for the overtake there. Pace Dogs, again, you mentioned earlier, struggling with that wing damage, so guys are just kind of slowly picking him off. Lit Romney defending that place ahead. Pace Dog's all over the back of him. So Pace Dog's driving quite well, given the fact he's got that wing damage. Terminal Deity on these 7-lap-old softs, looking to hang on to these guys at the front too. So valiant effort here from Terminal Deity, hanging on to medium runners on his softs. And it looks like Chicken on the back of Soy once more. And Soy very close to PDC suddenly. Did PDC have a moment here? Looks like PDC may have had a moment, and now we've got the top 3 all within a second of each other.
Top 4. Coxie's
oh, sorry,
right
yes.
there.
Coxie is right there too. I was just thinking these guys, the 3 are racing each other, while Coxie's on a bit of a different strategy here. So Coxie doesn't need to push, but Coxie also wants to make sure he keeps that gap. Because Lit Romney's 6 seconds behind, and that's his closest.
Oh, Soy Loco dives into the pits. He's the first one to bite the bullet.
Soy dives in. That's going to pay off for him, though.
Yeah, he's probably looking for the undercut on PDC.
No, I don't blame him.
That's
a great idea. Chicken really should let his teammate Coxie. I mean, should he let his teammate go? I don't know. He probably should.
No,
but...
I think it's more beneficial for Chicken to stay ahead and drag Coxie along because that basically gives...
Lit Romney's out. Lit Romney has binned it. I just saw him in the background lose the car there, and he's ripped the wheel off. He's lost the car.
Oh my word.
He was racing wheel to wheel with Pace Dogs there, and then I saw his car just drift off. There it is, stricken Haas. Lit Romney is out. No safety car, no VSC, really? Like, I mean, this game is ridiculous. There's cars racing through Sector 1 right now, and they're just gonna, like... Oh, it's frustrating. How do they decide? I mean, nobody was out, and the first safety car came out.
I don't know.
Such a stupid game.
But,
such a stupid game.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather not see a safety car over and over for one person retiring without.
I agree.
Making
like,
any
you're not
contact,
wrong,
but
it's just the logic. It's what really bothers me. There's literally no fucking logic with their safety car system. It's like 8 months into the fucking game, they decide to release this massive patch to update the safety car, and it's still fucked up. Like, how do you still fuck it up after that long? It's crazy.
Coxie on the main straight has the RS, very close to Electric Chicken, who doesn't have any. He gets the move done. Easy.
Chicken staying out, maybe looking for a little bit of a tow here from his teammate. So PDC pits. Chicken the last guy on the softs, and Terminal Deity stuck out with him as well. Terminal Deity is looking at the inside of Pace Dogs here.
PDC comes out with relation to Soy Loco. It's going to be close.
Aerostrike overtakes Terminal Deity here.
PDC keeps his place. Soy Loco still stays behind him despite the 1 lap undercut.
So Chicken getting a little bit of a tow from his teammate here. He stayed out that extra lap. Probably an okay idea. Bobby, all over the back.
Hans is out.
Hans has crashed as well.
No, he's retired in the pits. Yeah, no worries.
Watch, we'll get a safety car for that one. Yeah, so PDC maintains his net first place, is it? I don't know, we'll see. Coxie might have net first place at this point, but PDC in a bit of clear air here. His closest rival, Soy Loco, behind on the hard tires. So Soy is sitting in a decent spot here. Hans has left the session as well. So, Aerostrike here. He is all over the back of Pace Dogs. He's looking to get through now. Terminal Deity still out on the softs. Imagine Chicken heading into the pits now. Yes, he is. A lap 11, so he's definitely going to the hards. He's going to make those hards last again, but he's going to have a decent set of hards to get to the end. So Aerostrike down the inside now on Pace Dogs, getting that move done with that DRS. Aerostrike on the hard tire, Pace Dogs on the medium tires, starting to lose a little bit of pace in those mediums. He was dropped off, and Terminal Deity also pits on the soft tires as well. So everybody off these softs now, except CPM, who's gone out on these softs once more. He's currently in 14th, so CPM looking at a 2-stop strategy in 14th currently. Can't say that's looking terribly optimistic at this point. Pace Dogs now under a second. He's keeping pace with Arrow here. He did get overtaken by Arrow, but he hasn't lost that DRS yet. We have so many comments, I don't even want to look at my phone. I don't even know where to start. We've just kind of been doing the race.
Nah, it's just tier 1 people discussing the race, basically, who's gonna win, and
what do they think?
a lot of Coxie and Yellow Dildo supporters. I mean, Renault supporters.
You can't see that on here.
Yeah, I can. It's my league.
It's not your
it's our league.
Yeah,
it's our league.
Yeah, no, it's my league. I just let you say it's our league.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's how it is. CPM here has just gotten by the 49ers. So his two-stop strategy looking a little bit better at this point. He's passed one of the cars he needs to get by. GP Colin is looking at the back of Scavney here. He is very close here. He's got that DRS wide open. Down the inside, GP Colin in that Ferrari on the Mercedes of Scavney gets the move done. Yeah, great move from GP there. So GP overtakes Scavney. Bobby is still hanging on to the back of Wolfsburg here. Has not found a way through yet. So credit to Wolfsburg here. Driving quite well to keep Bobby behind him for quite some time here.
Chicken has lost out as well from staying out an extra couple laps compared to Soy and PDC. He's gotten past Mario quickly there, but there's a decent gap between him and Soy Loco.
GP somehow has lost the place to Scavney once more, so now he's behind Scavney again. I don't know what happened there, but the chat just popped off. We're at like 150 comments already. This could be like a 300 comment race by the end. We're not even halfway through. It just doesn't stop. These guys. GP. I really don't know what happened there. GP just got to find a way through once more, but we saw him do it once. He can definitely do it again. Definitely not what he would want to be doing at this point, though. Once you clear a car, you definitely want to stay in front.
Soy Loco picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's going to hurt his chances of the podium.
Pacedogs is pit finally. He's given up on that busted front wings. Probably pit a little earlier than most medium runners would. But he needs to get that wing fixed. GP down the inside once more. Can he make it stick this time? He has the place currently. I guess it was Soy probably with the DRS here as what got GP last time. And it looks like he's going to get him again. Here he goes. Sorry, Scavney, not Soy. Scavney has overtaken GP once more. So these two just trading places in the first few turns. Good to see. Just costing each other time. Wolfsburg up ahead, just like, yeah, keep it going, boys. I'll sit up here on my hards just fine. So, yeah, Wolfsburg's sitting in a pretty decent spot as well, actually. Sitting in 5th place currently on the hard tires. Got a long way to go still before he needs to make a pit stop. And, yeah, he's sitting in a decent spot. He's got a few cars close behind, but nobody... Actually, I guess PDC and Soy behind on fresh hards are going to be a little bit of a problem in a few laps. GP still stuck behind Scavney.
Coxie's finally pit. He's gonna probably go on the hards. Airstrike takes tentative lead of the race.
Sam is pitting as well.
I think there's gonna be a battle is gonna converge between Coxie and Airstrike towards the end of the race once Aero goes on his medium stint or the soft stint.
Here comes Coxie. Oh no, did PDC get him? I think PDC's got him. PDC did get him. But Coxie ahead of Soy, so Coxie sitting in a good spot here. Oh, Soy is spun! Oh no! This race is just crazy. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So, Coxie has 4 lapped fresher tires than PDC, but he's got about a second gap here. So this is going to be a true battle to the end. His teammate Electric Chicken on 3-lap old hards just behind Coxie. Chicken probably going to close that gap down just a little bit over the next lap or two while Coxie gets his tires up to temperature. But really, Chicken shouldn't be a threat to Coxey. So Coxey should be really keeping eyes forward here, looking at PDC. I guess the guys in front, it kind of remains to be seen where they're going to end up. But Coxey needs to clear PDC if he wants to keep that gap to Arrow safe. He can't be stuck battling behind PDC if he wants to make sure he can clear Arrow once Arrow makes that final pit stop. Bobby Pitts. That frees up GP. He's looking for some space here on Wolfsburg. He's going down the outside. Can he find a way through here? Wolfsburg looks like he's got the optimal line. He has him covered off. So GP stuck behind Wolfsburg still. PDC now closing on GP Colin. So he needs to get through quickly here or he's going to be pushing himself towards Coxey, and that's not good news. Coxey licking his chops at the moment, seeing the scrap ahead of him forming, knows it's exactly what he needs. Ultimately, what he needs is to clear PDC and both the cars ahead of PDC so that he can start working on his gap to Aerostrike in the lead. PDC goes very deep there. That's huge for Coxey. Coxey down the inside. PDC begging for some space as he comes back on the track, but Coxey not really having to give him any. They're side by side here into the turn. GP looks like he's past Wolfsburg ahead. Coxey and PDC still wheel to wheel. PDC just keeps the edge here. Oh man, that was so close. Coxey really needed that, but really what both drivers need is to clear the two cars ahead of them. And that hasn't happened for either driver here. PDC ran very deep and he put himself in an awful spot there, but did well to defend and keep the place over Coxey there. Coxey probably frustrated as hell that he didn't make that stick there. PDC with that DRS and that slipstream looking for a move here on Wolfsburg. Is he going to go around the outside? He is. Wolfsburg parked on the racing line once more. Starting to lose a little bit of grip in those hards. You can see him just sliding around a little bit, but he's doing well enough to keep PDC behind at the moment. Can he continue to do that? He can. Wolfsburg stays in front. So PDC is going to have to find a way through down the next DRS straight in a few corners. And that's brought Coxey right back up to the gearbox of PDC here. That's perfect news for Coxey. Chicken a few seconds off there. Not looking like he's too concerned about pushing at the moment. He doesn't have to really worry with the gap behind. CPM on the softs going to be losing time very shortly on 8-lap old softs. PDC looking for a little bit of space. He's compromised his run once more. Here comes Coxey. Coxey gets a very good exit. They both have DRS here. They're wheel to wheel once more. Can Coxey make it stick this time? He's on the inside. He's ahead. He keeps that place and he sweeps across and takes that racing line. Coxey gets the move done. So he is ahead of PDC. That is crucial. And now he needs to clear Wolfsburg as soon as possible to get PDC off his gearbox. This is a massive, massive moment in the race. Aerostrike is enjoying this out front. It's still managing to grow his gap. Oh, what is this? Oh. PDC down the inside here. Very late move, and they make contact wheel to wheel, but Coxey now with that DRS is going to get the move again. Looks like he's got much more battery
Coxey's got a much better drive out of the last time as well, but
PDC goes very deep. Coxey with the switchback. Oh, and he's ahead. Oh, they make contact. PDC has spun. This is crazy. Unbelievable wheel-to-wheel racing there. I think, honestly, I don't think Coxey really did anything wrong there. PDC just desperately trying to hang on. Obviously, that'll be looked at after the race, but that is huge for Coxey. He needed that big time. Coxey comes out the victor in that wheel-to-wheel battle, and he is now right on the back of Wolfsburg here. Wolfsburg on very old, hard tires, while Coxey on 3-lap old, hard tires. He should make quick work of Wolfsburg here, not having to worry about the threat of PDC now. His teammate Chicken has closed about a second and a half on the two here, given the incident that just occurred. Chicken just kind of hanging back, kind of conserving, driving smartly. He needs to make sure he gets to the end here. This could be a huge result for Renault. if Chicken can kind of close in and hang on to his teammate here, this could be a very, very good result for Renault. Because Chicken, I think, can go to the end quite easily, and he's just been kind of hanging back and driving conservatively.
I don't want to jinx it, but I think as it stands, it's a Renault 1-2 effectively. But
That's
it depends on.
Here comes
It depends on. Yeah, it depends on how long Aerostrike takes in the pits and how his medium stint goes. If he doesn't come out in too much traffic, I think he's going to challenge them for the lead of the race.
Coxey
He might even split the Renault
on
down,
the outside of
we'll
Wolfsburg here. Wolfsburg looking to defend this still, but just doesn't have the grip he needs, and Coxey takes that place. Wolfsburg could not defend that, so Chicken next up for Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg with that DRS down, but not enough traction to keep up. So now Chicken will set his sights on Wolfsburg ahead. And Coxey in a little bit of clear air now, but he's got GP Collar to worry about ahead, who's on 17-lap old medium. So GP definitely needing to pit once more before the end of this race. Coxey will close that gap very quickly, I presume, and probably make his way through quickly. So I think it's about a 24-25 second pit stop here. I think Arrow's got a 17-second lead at the moment, and Coxey on 4-lap old hards. Can't see him being terribly off the pace until the very last few laps. I'm not sure that Arrow's... Oh, Arrow pits, so this is huge here. Arrow does pit, so must be going maybe for the softs here.
I imagine...
No? No, the mediums. Oh no, the softs. Is it the softs? It is the mediums.
No, mediums.
I saw the red. I saw red. This game is so messed up. I swear I saw red for a brief moment. Yeah, but then it showed medium. So, Chicken ahead. Arrow tucks in behind. Soy Loco too. Oh, that's huge for Coxey. That's huge for Coxey. I think Coxey's got this. He just needs to drive smart here, and I think Coxey's in a really good spot here. Arrow looking to make a move on Soy Loco already here. And he does. So Soy not posing much of a threat here for Aerostrike. Fresh mediums versus 10-lap old hards. Aerostrike on a charge. He is not looking to get held up. We got a VSC here. That's going to cost Arrow a bit of time. Who's lost the car here? Is that Mario has DNF'd. On 4-lap old hards, Mario's lost the car and he has crashed out. Do we have an illegal overtake here? I'm not sure. Arrow slowed right down.
No, I think he's just trying to get back into his delta.
Right. So PDC, we kind of forgot about PDC, but he's making a move on Sam here on the restart. And it looks like he's got the place here. He does. So PDC sitting in a decent spot as well, actually. He could be a bit of a threat towards the end of the race here. But Chicken and Coxey, as you mentioned, looking like they're poised for a 1-2 currently. Actually, not really.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Here comes Arrow. Yeah.
Here comes Arrow.
Here's Arrow.
Yeah. I was like, oh, gap to Chicken's 1.3 for mine.
Yeah.
That's I mean, Cox might to do something about it, but I think Chicken sitting upstate.
Aerostrike gets past Wolfsburg very quickly.
So, Aerostrike now within the DRS range of Chicken. Not good news for Chicken. Not good news for Coxey either, but
no.
The good news for Coxey is that he does have a 5-second lead at the moment, and he's got 9 laps
his
to go.
teammate is gonna try as hard as possible to keep that position up as long as he can.
Chicken needs to defend the shit out of this. He needs to do everything he can to give Coxey a gap here. Aerostrike purple here. You know Arrow's gonna have... Oh my god, Arrow just with unreal pace here. He's already by Chicken. It's unbelievable. He can't be stopped. He's only going to go 10 laps on these mediums, so he's going to use every inch of life in these medium tires. And he is already hurling towards Coxie here.
With the fastest lap as well.
Wolfsburg pits finally. Probably to the softs, I'd figure.
Oh, GP Colin with another fast lap on the
Coxie,
softs with a
Coxie actually
30.5.
extended his gap by a 10th there. So this could be quite interesting.
Let's do the math. There's 9 laps remaining total, including this one. So
Right.
Aerostrike's gonna have to take about 5-6 tenths out of Coxie each lap
Right.
if he's gonna stand a chance to make an overtake towards the end.
And it looks like he's taken a few tenths out just in this sector. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he looks like he's on pace here. He's on pace here for, yeah, it looks like he's going to catch Coxie by the end of the race quite easily.
GP Colin on the back of Coxie on the back straight under DRS. He's on the softer tire. Looking to make a move. Can he get it done? Not yet. He's not quite close enough. He'll have to try again on the main straight.
Yeah, Aero Strike down to 3.6 now, that interval. So, I mean, yeah, really at this point, I don't know. There's nothing really for Coxie to lose fighting Aero, but
no.
I think realistically it's going to be pretty damn hard to keep him behind. So, maybe really what he needs to consider. Here goes GP on Bobby. Down the inside there with that DRS, much fresher tires, 2 compounds softer, and
easy
GP
peasy
is through. He's tucked in behind his teammate, Pace Dogs now. Sam, the reserve.
Sam is right behind PDC.
Yeah, he's right up behind PDC, but he doesn't count either, so all the guys behind here will actually be gaining a place by the end of the race. PDC, he had a really strong start to this race and kind of just disappeared a little bit. He's just sitting down in 5th now. He's not really threatening to do anything at the moment. Just kind of, I mean, he's on for a good finish nonetheless, but, you know, nothing compared to what he looked like he could have achieved at the start of the race.
Pace Dogs goes a bit wide, and GP Colin is going to be right up the back of him as well, going into the next DRS straight.
And I think we saw, if I'm not mistaken, we saw last week or the week before these two racing pretty hard. They don't they don't seem to give preference to whoever's quicker. They just race it out.
Yeah, I believe it was Mexico which gave Coxie a charge at the podium thanks to all the battling between the Ferrari. And Chicken was right there behind them as well.
PDC picked up a penalty, I just noticed there. And then there's a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And then I noticed Aero, the gap to Coxie had gone down quite substantially, but then he lost a few tenths, so maybe just made a bit of an error there. But you can see ahead.
Oh, GP Colin and Pace Dogs are side by side going into turn 3, and Pace Dogs has kept the position. He parked it on the apex, and he's picked up DRS because of that. Yeah, GP Colin's gonna have to keep trying. So definitely no team orders here. No, nothing doing. They're gonna fight it out. Let's see, 2.5 seconds between. Yeah, 2.5 between Aero Strike and Coxie with 6 laps to go.
It's given
so
Bobby.
Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, I wanted to point out it's given Bobby a good sniff here at 7th place because Bobby hasn't scored a ton of points this year yet, and watching these two Ferraris fight out in front of him probably music to his ears because he just loves the fact that he has a chance to score a good handful of points. I think he could even double his points total if he was to finish ahead of these two.
CPM gets past Scabby. They're side by side. Still, CPM runs a little wide. Scabby keeps the position for now. CPM is also on this softer and fresher tire. But right up the back of Scabby, he will get DRS on the main straight. Oh, but he makes a move down the inside into the final corner. Can he make it stick?
Oh, they're still wheel to wheel.
Oof.
They're like almost
Yeah, but there's the
identical here.
DRS. There's the DRS advantage. Gets it
Yeah.
done before turn 1.
Oh, Scabney ran deep there. I think Scabney's out of it now. Yeah, he's almost a second off here. 7/10 off here because of his mistake. He was
In the
wheel to wheel.
meantime, yeah, GP Collins gotten past Space Dogs finally on the softer tire, so he'll be looking to get away as quickly as possible so it doesn't face any more threat from his teammate. Also, Aerostrike is now a second and a half behind Toxie with 5 laps to go. So I think once he gets within DRS, I don't think Toxie's going to be able to do much to hold his lead of this race.
No, but I think they have to be pretty proud of their drive, both those Renaults, because
Oh, absolutely.
the fact that they could finish 2 and 3 and score a double podium here would be a huge boost
Yeah,
for them.
yeah. Especially for Coxie, starting outside the top 10, finishing on the podium, that's a driver of the day performance.
Yeah, easily. And I think, yeah, Aerostrike, obviously very dominant in this tier. So even the fact that Coxie, even if he only finishes a few seconds behind, he can say, like, that's about as close as anyone's been for a while. I mean, Axton obviously always puts up a bit of a threat most weeks to Aero, but he's just nowhere today. I mean, I've almost completely forgotten about him because he's sitting down in 12th currently, and he's just kind of sitting in a bit of a gap. There's really nothing doing for Axton at the moment. Probably one of his worst races of the season, if I recall.
Absolutely. Easily, not finishing in the points is a disaster. Not finishing on the podium is a bad race for Axton.
Yeah. Pace Dog's still hanging on to the back of GP here. We know those softs don't last much more than 6-7 laps on a full tank, so they're probably starting to fall off a little bit. Well, Pace Dog's kind of sitting in the prime life of these hard tires. He actually might have a shot here at fighting his teammate back, but we do have the battle for first on. Aerostrike has taken half a second out of Coxie just down this straight alone. He is right there. He's knocking at the door. He wants this win. It's been a few weeks since Aero had a victory here in Tier 2, but he is back, and he is knocking, and Coxie, I don't think he's going to be able to do much about this. Coxie might be able to defend it for a lap or two, but I mean, really, he's got nothing to lose defending it in a smart way because he's got 9 seconds to his teammate. So Coxie can defend this smartly and maybe hold off Aero or force him into an error, but realistically, Aerostrike's probably just kind of biding his time, so it's going to be tough. We'll see what he can do here. I just don't think Coxie really needs to like put that huge amount of pressure on himself because Aerostrike pretty much has this in the bag. It's just a matter of time, and really there's not much Coxie can do about it. So I think just not making mistakes and not losing any time to his teammate or Soy Loco behind is probably the best bet he can roll with at the moment. Soy Loco, though, he is very close to the back of Chicken here, and he is looking to make a threat at that podium position.
He's definitely knocking on Chicken's door. He's cut down the gap, and he's right on the edge of getting a sweet DRS as well.
Yeah, he's very close here, so we might not see that double podium for the Renault team here. I don't think Coxie really needs to worry about the threat of Soy Loco, but Chicken certainly does, because he is now in the DRS range of Electric Chicken. Soy Loco makes his return to Zenith Online Racing, and he's looking for his first podium since he came back. Here comes Aero down the inside. He is in front of Coxie here, and I think he's got that move done. Coxie looking to fight it back a little bit here. Coxie can have DRS down the second DRS zone here. Can Coxie do anything here? Oh, Aero looking to defend that slipstream aggressively. Coxie around the outside here. They're wheel to wheel. Coxie is ahead here. Is he going to hold it? Aero looking for room, and they touch. Aero spun! Oh my, Aero was looking for some space there, and he just made contact and spun himself. I don't really think that's more than a racing incident, honestly. That was just wheel-to-wheel contact. I honestly can't say what happened there. Electric Chicken is now right on the back of Aerostrike, so Coxie might have a victory here. This is massive. Coxie could have won this race. I think even if there is a penalty, is it going to be more than 5 seconds?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
like,
either. I think Coxie's got this.
Yeah.
Aerostrike needs to cut that gap down aggressively now if he wants a chance to win this race. Coxie was ahead there. I don't think Aero was necessarily... I don't think either driver was wrong to be where they were. I think that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, I might be bold enough to say a Renault 1-2 might still be on, but it's going to be difficult, but it's not impossible now. Like, Chicken is within striking distance. If he can get past in DRS and
he's in DRS.
Somehow defend for the next lap and a half, I think he's going to have it, but we'll see. I don't think he's quite close enough to get the move done just yet, but he's going to have to keep pushing.
He's very close. He could definitely pull it off here. He's got 2 laps left. And Soy Loco, what that's done to Soy Loco is it's kind of cost him the opportunity at Chicken, because now Chicken is kind of drifting towards Aero, and Soy Loco's drifting away. So, Soy Loco maybe misses opportunity at podium here, while Chicken maybe looking for a second place finish here. Looks like Aero's got the car back under control, though. He's got his temperatures under control. And it looks like he's broken out of that DRS gap once more. Chicken kind of just floating in and out of it with Soy Loco here. We got about a lap and a half to go here. PDC has chopped the gap down to Soy Loco to 1.8. So, really, could be anybody else on the podium at this point. And it's really up in the air for the final lap and a half here. But Aerostrike with a 7.4 second gap to Coxie. I mean, I'm pretty much guarantee you there's no way he's catching Coxie at this point. So, if there's no penalty for Coxie, which is entirely possible, Coxie wins this Grand Prix. If there's a 5-second penalty for Coxie, which is entirely possible, he still wins this Grand Prix. Aerostrike is 7.3 off of Coxie with 1 lap to go. Can he cut this gap down? If he gets it under 5, there is a chance that Aero wins this Grand Prix. But that's only if he can get the gap under 5 seconds. That is the minimum time penalty handed out in Zenith Online Racing. So if Aero can get that gap to under 5, there's a chance he could still get the victory here if the stewards decide to hand out a penalty. I would say a penalty probably unlikely, but again, only saw it live once. Impossible to say at this point. What I will say, though, is heading into this final lap is that we've had one hell of a Grand Prix. PDC has lost the car. He is off. Pace Dogs and Bobby are ahead of him now as well, so Bobby's going to score some good points tonight. Happy to see Bobby scoring some points. He's going to have, and Sam, obviously 5th place, won't count either, so even more points for the guys behind.
Yeah, let's get back to the King of Bahrain, as it is, for the final sector here on the final lap.
There he is, Coxie leading the Grand Prix right now. He's got a 5.8 second lead. Doesn't need to do much more. If he can just maintain that 7/10 gap he has, he can definitely pretty much secure a first victory here in Zenith Online Racing. Here comes Coxie. There's the checkered flag. Coxie wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. There are the fireworks. Aerostrike comes across the line in 2nd place. Chicken bringing it home for that double podium for the Renault team. He is in 3rd. Huge finish for Renault here. Soy with a lot of penalties in 4th. He's just flying down the grid. Sam in 4th place finishes legitimately in 4th. GP Colin in 5th place. They both, and Pace Dogs, finish ahead of Soy Loco. Sam won't count. So what we've actually got is GP in 4th, Pace Dogs in 5th. So Coxie and Chicken, they called out the Ferrari team, and they both finished ahead of both Ferraris. So I have to say, the battle is on, boys. Pace Dogs tucked in behind his teammate, GP Colin there. Soy Loco in 7th, CPM in 8th, Bobby in 9th, Axton in 10th. So Axton picks up a point regardless of his disaster of a race. But his teammate actually finishing ahead of him in 7th place. So good finish for, not a bad finish for Red Bull, really. They both scored pretty decent points tonight. Good finish from both Red Bulls, though, and Bobby as well finally gets a good finish on the board. He's going to pick up 8th place once we take Sam out of the standings there. So Bobby's going to pick up about 4 points tonight for his performance in that McLaren. I think he only had about 4 coming into this race, so as I mentioned earlier, doubled his points total. Scabney will pick up a point. Axiom will actually get 2 points, sorry. Scabney will pick up a point in 10th once Sam is removed. So, again, though, just want to point out, Sam, very good at this track. He actually won the Bahrain Grand Prix in our very first season as a league. It was our second race, and me and Sam actually were battling for the victory there. Sam edged me out. He just drove very defensively, and it was quite stout, and I just could not find a way through. He won that Grand Prix, and he was quite strong here Monday, and also obviously here tonight strong as well. So big ups to Sam there, finishing 4th. Wolfsburg picks up a 12th place finish. That will actually move to 11th, so a little frustrating for him. He's only 2/10 off of another point there for the Toro Rosso team. Terminal Dady will finish 13th, Dove 49ers in 14th, and PDC, he has a puncture on that rear left. That is actually quite astounding. It only went 19 laps on his hards, and somehow has a puncture on the rear left. That's quite weird. So,
Yeah.
Mario, Hans, Lit Romney, it's Eric, and Frank Lucas, all the DNFs for this evening, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. So 5 cars not finishing the Grand Prix tonight.
Let's get
Huge.
the podium boys in the party.
Oh man, this is gonna be huge. This is gonna be the spiciest podium interview possibly of Zenith Online Racing history. Arrow, Chicken, Coxie. Oh boy, Chicken's gonna be. Oh man, he's got to be ecstatic with that. The Renault guys are gonna gang up on Arrow for sure. Man, what a race! Honestly, that was one of the best races for sure. That might have been the best race yet. That was wild. I don't know. I really had a good time calling that. Maybe I just perfect combination of circumstances or something like that. But it was a lot of fun. It was wild, to be honest. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was fun, no doubt.
No doubt. I mean, to see
It was
Coxie
hard to
win
keep
the
up
race,
with this
that's
one.
massive.
Yeah, from P11 as well. A lot of jumping places. Airstrike from P5 still. Bobby from down in P16 into the points. That's a pretty solid drive from him as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I sent the invites out, but I don't think anybody's joined the party yet. No, nobody has. Oh, there's Chicken. I got one. Oh, I bet he's coming all right. Oh yeah, yeah. By all means, please do, because this is massive, like massive. I really, honestly, like just off the first-hand, naked eye experience watching that incident live, I really don't think there's a penalty coming from that. I think that's a clean victory. Yeah, I don't think there's a penalty in that, to be honest, man. That was just a racing incident from what I saw, but you know, stewards decide. So even me and Fuzz decided, though we were discussing it during the end of the race there, and we said, even if there is a penalty, even if, could it be more than 5 seconds? Probably not. And he finished 5 seconds ahead. So I think that's a clean victory. I think that's time to pop the champagne, buddy. He is here. Coxie is here. He won the Grand Prix. How you feeling, my man? Oh, fuck yeah, he's hyped. That's huge. Huge. I remember I only won once. Fuck, man, it's ever a good feeling. Even no matter the circumstances, you're like, I don't even care. I remember it was because Puff blundered the strategy in pit and went on to the inters, and I stayed out, and I won the race, and he was so fucking mad, and I was just like, I don't even care, dude. I just won a Grand Prix. I don't give a fuck. And Coxie, I gotta think you're feeling the same kind of energy right now for sure. I don't think that was anyone's fault, man. That was just a racing incident, it looked like. Yeah. No, I don't think you can blame either driver, really, though. Like, it was just bad luck. Yeah, go ahead. Why is that?
Who can they hear? Can they not hear any of us?
Oh.
At least Coxie.
Are you at the party menu?
I was in the party menu, yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
If you have the party menu up, it'll stop all audio other than yours.
Okay. So they couldn't hear anything but me. Okay, so
mic check,
let's just restart. Let's restart that. Anyways, Coxie, how are you feeling? That was actually pretty close. That was actually pretty close to what he did the first time, to be honest. So
that was bang on, man. That was bang. Yeah. You should have hit the vape for a second before, though. That would have been.
Yeah. No, it was pretty.
Dude,
hype.
Arrow, great battle, man. I'm stoked. Congrats on second, dude. Further into the first place in the championship.
Did you lift?
Me as in Electric Chicken?
Yes.
Lift in what circumstance?
On the straight.
No. You know, I was on. Dude, my tires were probably at 80%. Like, I was on hards for over 20 laps, so you gotta know when you know, right? I wasn't willing to risk a solid third, and then even though Soy Loco had penalties, I believe, it was important for me just to take the third. I'm going to take the podium, and you know, I was going to apply as much pressure as I could, but look, best finish of the season outright, third place on the podium. I was just going to let you go because you have so much pace, but
did you lift though?
I didn't lift at all. No. Oh, you mean down the straight to let you pass when you came up to me? Yeah, I lifted totally.
Okay, I was not expecting that at all. I almost went straight into the back of you.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know how to convey. I didn't know how to convey. I wanted you to pass me. It was. Yeah.
I think I would have got you with DRS anyways, but like, I don't know why you wouldn't like try to hold me up there.
I was
because your teammate's ahead, right?
Yeah,
I know,
what
absolutely.
The hell,
but
that's why it threw me off so much.
You just said that you were to get me on the next straight, and so realistically, I
could
but 2/10.
But you could have contested for the corner.
I could have contested for the corner.
If you got the better line for the corner, then you would have held me up.
Without a doubt, man. But again, I was not willing to battle a 2-lap medium Arrow and a 16-lap medium Chicken, and it's just.
Hold on.
I don't have a lot of experience, right?
To be fair, Soy Loco was right up his ass. Soy Loco was right up his ass, and if he wasted time scrapping you, Soy Loco would have been pressuring him.
That's true. But who else other than me was aware of his 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane?
Who's 5-second penalty?
I knew this because I was in the party with him.
Who?
Oh, okay, bummer.
Yeah.
Jamer stayed in and gave us some penalty updates, and he said that Soy had a penalty, so I was just trying to survive, man. Like, this is what it comes down to, is third place, Arrows behind me, in the lead, so much more pace, medium tires. I was like, fuck it, I'm letting him go. Take the corner, keep going. I'm not going to hold you up enough so that you're Coxie's. And then look at it this way. Had it changed the outcome of the race, Coxie might have not been in first. Right? So, just try my best out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a banana tactic that didn't work out, but Coxie finished the job later anyway, so...
Alright. Anyway, so these two have kind of like just sort of hijacked our interview podium here, but like, let's talk to the victor of the Grand Prix, Coxie, because he got his little celebration in, but the part where he started explaining how he felt about it was cut off as well because we were sitting in the party menu. So, Coxie, tell us how you feel.
Over the fucking moon, mate, seriously.
Yeah, that's a fucking win. I mean, it's very unlikely that win is going to disappear. I'm quite confident that even if there was a penalty, it wouldn't be more than a 5-second penalty. I think that was just some pretty unfortunate contact that just Arrow got the worst of, just kind of based on the positioning of the cars and the corner they were in, and I think I think that's a fucking win.
A little comment on that. what happened between us wasn't the worst thing I saw that race.
Okay, so that's...
There was stuff that happened ahead of me that, oh my god. Like
the one dive bomb?
What's the thought process? No. It'll be said in the chat, but what happened to Axton? Holy.
Oh, true.
It was really bad.
I didn't really notice what happened to Axton. I just noticed he was like nowhere at the end of the Grand Prix. I was like, holy fuck, Axton's like...
It was really bad. If you watch my stream or like my video, I was behind it.
Okay. We should post it for sure because I'd like to see what happened there. I didn't really I missed it. I just know Axton was having a bad race, and it's like that's not common at all without somebody fucking him over or him making a massive mistake. So
yeah. Well, anyways, continue.
No, I mean Coxie, like, I guess my question, like, you had a pretty rough start to the season. It looked like you were having like a disaster of a year, and then suddenly over the last few weeks, it's just kind of like completely turned around for you. You picked up a podium, and then now you've won a race. Like, you're just scoring points consistently now, and then so like Chicken's been pretty consistently like hanging around that podium all season long, and you've been right there in quality, but then just incidents in races have pulled you out of it, and you haven't really been able to actually convert anything into some like really good quality finishes. So like, how does it feel to go from like such a disastrous start for the first almost the entire first half of the season, and then now to have over the last few races these fantastic results?
You're absolutely correct. I just couldn't stay out of trouble, to be honest, and now I'm finding my rhythm, finding my stride, and I mean, I didn't even expect to finish top 3 today because I invalidated my last medium lap in qualifying, and I was 5/10 up.
Right.
And I went into the pits, tried to come back out, didn't have enough time, so I'll just let the race play out and see where I got put after safety cars and stuff. I had a really tight battle with PDC.
Yeah, it was very close.
And then he went off, man, just succumbed to the pressure.
But
I think you'd gotten by him, and then like while he was like trying to hang on to you guys, he fucked up.
Yeah, second turn.
Yeah.
No, first, second, third turn, I guess. Kind of between second and 3.
On a serious note, I wanna submit a missing report. If anyone finds Pace Dogs or GP Colin, please call ZOR. We're looking for them and we can't find them.
They've gone missing, eh? Since all the shit talking this afternoon.
Yeah.
Honestly, double podium for the Renaults. They're like, oh fuck. Yeah, no, it's huge. For those people that don't know, these guys were kind of beefing in the Discord, just a little bit like a friendly banter rivalry between the Renaults and the Ferraris. Okay,
Coxie was beefing. Coxie was drinking for 2 that day.
Yeah.
God, I didn't say shit.
You're allowed to beef a little bit.
Well,
it's not the Canadian way, but
yeah. Oh no, I mean, like it's like what I did today to Aerostrike was the Albertan way, I guess, because I don't know. Aerostrike scared me. I was too intimidated.
Yeah, you're just like,
yeah, I do have that effect.
Go on, bud. You can go on through there, bud.
You can go on there, bud. I'm not fast enough, but I was faster than Soy Loco. I knew that, and the beginning of the race was beautiful because Coxie and I ended up actually right beside each other for a good few laps. Yeah. I think the 3 last laps of my softs, so I was able to lead him for a couple laps when my softs were faster. Yeah. And then I let him go, and I stayed out for another laps when PDC went in, and I held on to his DRS, which I actually think was a net negative. But again, we both resulted with a podium, so it's tough to say hindsight 2020 in this case. But we did a really good job to bring it together, the strategy for the 1-3.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
We were working together. I mean, it's not burning up the tires too much, and honestly, a little bit of luck too. There was some. I think there was some egregious incidents that we're gonna see come to fruition here after the end of the interview, because I mean, we finished with 16 people, and Bahrain's not easy. Tire temps are hot. It's really easy to roast them, and then you got somebody who's just a torpedo. And I guess that happened. I'm not really sure about.
Yeah,
the
there was a
incident.
few moves by a couple people that I was kind of questioning, but honestly, like when you're watching it live, it's so hard to tell, and you're jumping around and shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of caught a couple things like briefly, but I really can't comment on them because I'm not entirely sure who it was or who did what wrong, or like you see someone like launching themselves down the inside, and it's like, well, did that person try an aggressive move, or were they pushed by somebody into that move because they didn't break either, right? Like something along those lines. So yeah, I saw a few things that you're right, they'll come up in the incident report, but that's what we deal with it. And I think ultimately at the end of the day we had a pretty good race, and obviously it was a really good result for you guys. I mean, fuck, you scored 40 points tonight, like that's pretty huge.
Yeah, and it makes you want to just go run downstairs naked, but it's my grandma lives here, so there's just no chance that can happen. But
I'm already naked. I thought that was what you do when you get P1.
Yeah.
Champagne bottle naked shower.
Yeah, covered in champagne, so you gotta get naked.
Arrow must have already spent all his money on champagne at this point then.
Yeah, he doesn't have to supply the champagne. We supply the champagne. That's what all your league fees go to.
Yeah. Arrow, did you run line today?
My champagne supply.
Yeah, I did.
I think the crowd wants to know.
I did.
You ran line?
Yes. The only reason why is because of the left-hander, like going back down the hill onto the first DRS straight.
The first DRS, so the
small DRS straight. In
the sector 2 straight, yeah.
Yeah.
So you ran
also,
line there,
I don't like this track.
Yeah, it's a tough track, man. I mean, it is really a really difficult track.
A lot of people
There's
seem to hate
lot.
I like it.
I don't like it that much, man.
Every
really
time at the start of the
controller.
game, I like it, and then after like 3 races here, I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like you get a good line sometimes out of some corners, and then after that, you can't get that anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to get the same line. Like, it's insanely difficult.
Even though it looks exactly the same. Like, it feels the same, it looks the same, but you're like 5/10 slower, and you're like, where did this time just go?
I think we have Canada next, so better start practicing now.
Are you still here, Fuzz?
Yeah.
How'd you?
Do you want to ask any questions before we wrap this up?
I have a question. How'd you guys find the hard tires?
Well, after 21 laps on the hards, or 20 laps on the hards.
How'd you find it at the start of the stint, though?
Well, I was running about a 131 to 132, so pretty good. I mean, I was able to stay. The whole goal was for 10 laps was to stay way ahead of everybody till they pitted, to come out and see what the gap was. When the gap was enormous too. The closest person to me was a hard, except for you, who ran the soft medium on the, your strategy, right? The hards were good.
No, I started medium and then pit lap 1 because my wing blown off.
Oh, bummer. Coxie, what do you think of the hards? Fuck, eh?
Yeah. I mean, Bahrain's my favourite track of the calendar, so
Bahrain.
I knew I had decent pace here. So hards was decent. I came out just beyond PDC, and I was just riding in his DRS until the tyres warmed up, and then the inevitable happened, and I went past. And trust me, the league is not gonna forget about this win for a while. Because
fuck me.
because
this is the last thing I wanted to hear.
Yeah, one of the hardest things.
Yeah, this is probably my only win of the calendar, just because I love Bahrain. So, and I'm only
congrats to you,
on
man.
Bahrain.
I mean, what a better thing to finish on than a big old congratulations for Coxie.
Yeah, fair enough.
Props to you, man. You earned it.
Should the venue of Coxie versus Buff be moved to Bahrain instead?
Ooh, that's spicy. I mean, to be fair, he's won 2 races here now, so I think that's.
I mean, he's beaten Puff here.
But we generally have to think Puff is faster. So realistically, we put Puff and Coxie in Bahrain, and then we go, okay, let's fucking see. Like, this is Coxie's
do we
best
really
track.
have to think that?
Yeah.
Do we really think Puff is faster? I mean, it's debatable.
That's be the most sarcastic thing you've ever said in your life. That's probably Puff right there. That one comment just came in. He said, "Shut the fuck up, Buzz. I am faster. You know it."
That's
another comment
exactly
there.
What he
guarantee.
Said. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. It is Puff saying, "I am faster."
Hold on. Let me get this chat back up here.
Okay.
I have to make sure. Oh, I've missed it. What's going on here? I am faster. Yep, there it is. All right. Anyways, we're wrapping this up. Fuzz, I tried to offer you an opportunity to ask any questions before Arrow hijacked that, but do you have any questions before we wrap it up?
No, not really. Did we talk about the incident?
What's that?
Did we talk about the incident between Coxie
Yeah, that was
and
like
Arrow?
20 minutes ago.
Yes, but
So-
no one heard
okay.
it because
I gotta go.
Diego was in the.
I fucking love you guys, and I love this league, and great win today. Good job, Arrow.
Yeah.
Good job, Coxie. Grazie.
All right. See you
Okay, I'll
later.
see you guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We will discuss the incident in the Discord, in the Stewards channel, because that's where it belongs. So that's where we will figure it out. But I don't think there'll be much in it, to be honest with you. I think that's just a good old racing incident at this point. And shit luck for Arrow, good luck for Coxie. It's just how it goes. Could have been the other way around easily. So that is it for Tier 2 in Bahrain. That was round 11. We are back on Sunday evening with the EU tier. They will be running the Bahrain Grand Prix as well. We might have something for you tomorrow. That's not
What
tomorrow,
track
that's
is next
Saturday.
week?
Canada.
I knew that.
Canada, eh?
Yeah, that's our home, eh? So, yeah, Canada is next week. That will be Tier 1 and Tier 2 next in Canada. So a lot of drivers home Grand Prix. We do have a lot of Canadians in this league. Quite a few Americans as well. But yeah, that will be the next Grand Prix, Canada. And then EU, Sunday night is Bahrain. And then we may do another 100% Grand Prix this Saturday. I think it would be Baku this week, which would be pretty spicy. So we'll see if that is on, if it's available. We try to get that streamed for you. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I am Arbiga. Alongside me tonight was Fuzz once more, and we had Arrow join us here in this podium interview. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.